Yo, what up? Welcome back to Isaac Vanilla Challenges. Today, at long last, we are going to be ranking all the vanilla challenges. I took the time to play through each and every single one of them, and now that I have a firm opinion on each one, let's share it here today. Starting off, I guess you can look at the tiers yourself. I don't need to explain the tiers. I think the only point that I do need to explain is that I decided to split the C tier up into multiple tiers. Uh, because honestly, so many of them would be C tier challenges that you gotta get some differentiation there. Alright, first of all, Pitch Black. Pitch Black, in case if you don't remember, is the challenge that applies permanent Curse of the Unknown and Curse of Darkness. Remove shops, but not item rooms, and then you go to Mom's Foot. So what's the challenge? There's not much of a challenge, and it doesn't really do anything interesting. In my opinion, this challenge is nothing. Nothing burger. Who cares? Who cares about Pitch Black as a challenge? Even if you manage to get like a fun, like regular Isaac run going, it stops at the foot. Who cares? The most notable thing about Pitch Black is it's the only one in the game that removes shops. That's it. The only reason why the Isaac Wiki, when you look at all the challenges on it, has a yes, no for shops is because of this challenge, because it removes shops. It's the only one. Presumably, I guess, to make sure you don't get Black Candle. But I mean, like, just take Black Candle out of the pool. You can remove items from the pool for challenges. I feel like you have the technology there. I will also be giving a suggestion on what I would do to improve each challenge. Especially, I'll give it a shot for these ones here in the C- tier. Right? If it's fun, novel, interesting, probably, that's good enough. And if it's terrible, at least it's noteworthy. But honestly, the worst challenges are the ones that, they're nothing. Who cares at all? So how would I improve this challenge? Let's take the concept Pitch Black and ramp it up a whole bunch. Let's blacken, not just with Curse of the Darkness, let's blacken everything. So all the items, let's give them so it's difficult to see them, right? For all the enemies, give them black sprites, so all you can make out is their outlines. Give the whole color palette of every floor, blacken everything, so it's just difficult to see. Make bullets black, right? Like, get crazy with it. Let's make this thing just difficult to see anything. I don't know if that's a good idea, bad idea, but it would be more interesting than we got right now. Alright, the Highbrow Challenge. This is the one that gives you a bunch of poop and pee related items. Well, okay, only one pee related item, number 1. Right? Yes, there's no item rooms, but there is shops, right? Just assume there are going to be shops for the rest of the entire list, pretty much. I'm not here to re-explain every last detail about these challenges, but what I will say about Highbrow is that who cares about Highbrow? It's really not difficult at all, especially because in Repentance, you start with the oh crap transformation, which means you get to be healing with every poop you make. And you get to be making poop. Especially, you're going to flush enemies, because you start with flush. Am I getting confused? That might be a different challenge. Anyway, it's really easy. What is my suggestion to make this challenge better? I don't know. Give yourself even more poop-related items. Why not? We're here for the poop humor, right? That's the whole appeal of this challenge. Give the player Montezuma's Revenge, or the poop as a pocket item or something. Or blindfold the player and make them rely on number 2 and Montezuma's Revenge as their only source of damage. Number 1 kind of becomes pointless, but I mean, it already was. Starting with a high rate of fire, great. Yeah, pretty big range down, but like, who cares? If you find number 1, like in your first item room, you should probably be taking it, but later in the run when you got high rate of fire, you can just skip it, so you don't have to eat the range down. But It starts you strong, so, like, who cares? Alright. Head trauma. This challenge got nerfed in Repentance because of the buff that Tiny Planet and Soy Milk both received. This challenge was always a nightmare in Afterbirth Plus. Well, maybe not a nightmare, but it was always, you know, not exactly looking forward to it, but it was always interesting. And that's where I'm going to be sticking it. It's not a challenge I would go out of my way to play, which would be these 3 tiers. Interesting once. Like, kind of, what if I were starting up a new save file? I'd be kind of looking forward to that. That's where all these C tiers are. B+, I might think about playing outside of save file completion. The entirety of the C tier, no, I wouldn't be playing that challenge outside of save file completion. So, to the degree during a save file completion, how much am I looking forward to that challenge? That's the degrees of C tier. And the other 3 tiers, I think, the rest are self-explanatory. So, with all the buff Soy Milk and Tiny Planets received, it's quite easy, but it's also fun. Right? Having yourself a little death tornado. It's fun. It makes you want to take Tiny Planet and Soy Milk like in a regular run. Honestly, I do kind of miss the way Soy Milk works from Afterbirth Plus when it comes to this challenge. If it was possible, don't re-nerf the rate of fire mechanics, but give Soy Milk its old knockback in this challenge, or like give the player like 5 copies of Blister, the trinket. I don't know if that Blister's effect stacks off the top of my head, couldn't tell you, but if it does, give the player like a bunch of copies of Blister. that could go crazy. That's my suggestion. Alright, Darkness Falls, not to be confused for Pitch Black. You're Eve in this challenge, and it gives you Sack Dag and like 2 other damage up items. I don't remember them off the top of my head, but can you beat the game when you start with extra powerful items at the start? Turns out, yes. I wouldn't go so far as a nothing burger, but it's definitely truly mid. Like, it's not completely forgettable in my opinion, but definitely true Starting with damage, you know, at least you're tearing through the early floors. And you are Eve, so it does incentivize you to try to get into a Babylon state, right? Get down to 1 red heart, and then, you know, stay there to keep your damage up. And that'd be my suggestion of where to take that challenge. Perhaps for the Darkness Falls challenge, increase Eve's negative damage multiplier when she's not in Babylon state. Normally, Eve has a damage multiplier of 75%, right? A minus 25 damage. Unless she's in Babylon, then she goes back to 1.0 like the rest of the cast. Maybe make it, like, harsh in this challenge. Like, maybe, like, half damage or even quarter damage unless you're in Babylon state. So even if you accumulate many damage ups, it really incentivizes you to play, you know, a little dangerously. That's what I think. Alright, the tank. Yes, the tank. Boo! I never look forward to this challenge. Not because it's hard, but it's just not fun. So the tank, tons of HP. But it's just the huge speed down. It's just not fun, right? It's just not a good time with the giant speed down. And it only goes to the foot, so it's not miserable for long. What would I do to make this challenge more fun? I feel like you can't change the idea of the challenge to make it fun, right? The whole point is you're a big, slow tank that can take a lot of hits and have a lot of HP, but you're slow. That's what a tank is, right? So it's not fun because you're slow. So you can't change that because that's the nature of the challenge. So I guess the only thing I might add is throw on some more. You start with infamy, right? So maybe add some more stuff like that, belly jelly, metal plate, etc., to give yourself more % chance of deflecting shots. But otherwise, I don't know what you would change about this challenge. I think it's just the premise. It's just itself kind of sucks. Solar system. I'm a big fan of orbitals in this game. I'm really sad about Cuba Meat, Ball of Bandages, Sack Dagger, all getting nerfed by having their orbital speed increased in Repentance back to how it was like in Flash Isaac. I really enjoyed using them in Afterbirth Plus. It's not the end of the world, but it's something I do miss. Solar System, it's fun. I kind of like having to use my brain and being all surgical and utilizing the orbitals and other alternative damage sources that you find to get to the challenge. I'm glad it only goes to the heart in this case. Cathedral and chest might kick your butt. Womb's plenty challenging enough, I think, for this challenge. So as for what I would change, nothing. I wouldn't change anything about it. It's a good challenge, and I don't think it needs to be changed. It's good for what it is. And there's a non-zero chance that maybe one day I get the hankering to play it outside of save file completion. Not as much as A and not as much as S, but it escapes C tier. Alright. Suicide King. I think the mechanic is funny and interesting with the Ipecac shot flying back towards your face. I think either I'm better at the game or something about the way my reflection was buffed. I think the challenge, it seems easier in Repentance, but then again, it could just be I'm having memories of back when I sucked at the game. Last time I played it. It didn't seem that bad. Goes to Isaac. It's not too long, not too short. Plenty of opportunities for a new player to play around with Ipecac and get some synergies, and yeah, overall I think it's kind of a fun challenge. It always makes me laugh when things go wrong in Suicide King. Cat Got Your Tongue. Again, I'm a big fan of orbital sources. What do I mean by alternative damage sources? I mean stuff you end up having to rely on when you're blindfolded, right? You don't have tears, so you have to find other ways of dealing damage. In Cat Got Your Tongue, Solar System, they encourage you to find other ways of doing damage besides tears. I'm a big fan of these kind of challenges. Swinging around the hairball. Swinging around the hairball, I think it's kind of fun. More than just, you know, when I'm doing the save file fun. Only goes to the foot though, but that's okay. I feel like the hairball would probably fall off in the womb. In terms of being able to keep up with the, you know, the enemies and the damage that you need to deal. If you didn't find something else that you can rely on, like, you know, Purgatory or the Candle or something. If you don't find something like that, you're probably screwed on this challenge, so it's good that it only goes to the foot. But overall, fun. Demo Man. Dr. Fetus and Remote Detonator is just a fun combo by itself. You can get this in Vanilla Isaac, right? It's not a hard challenge. But it's... I just like shooting the bombs and pressing the spacebar. It's fun. And sometimes I feel like skipping Dr. Fetus, like on a regular run, because I don't want to muck things up. But this offers a playground for the player. It's like, you know what, I have a hankering of playing with Dr. Fetus. Go ahead and go play Demo Man. Right? Suggestion? Make bomb items show up more often. Pass me on my notes. You know, it's fine as is, I think. Alright, Curse. Curse, all the you have full mapping and all the doors are now Curse Room doors. You're also Maggie again with Yum Heart and a full health pill. It's interesting enough. I wouldn't go out of my way to play it, but it's an interesting enough resource management plotting your way across, debating if it's worth traveling to the shop and item room, or if you just should go directly to the boss room because of how many doorways you're going to be traveling through. I like planning out ahead and using my resources to what I can do. The foot's fine because the womb, that full heart of damage each door, that's gonna get rough time. And I'd put that, I kind of, if I was doing a new save file, I'd be like, oh yeah, curse challenge, sure. Kind of look forward to that one. Wouldn't play it outside of save file completion, but yeah, I'd look forward to it. As for what I would change about it, I can't really think about a way to improve this challenge. It's fine as is. Alright, glass cannon. Epic fetus and Loki's horns. It's funny. It gets a good laugh out of me, and it gives the player a time to experiment with Epic Fetus if they haven't, seen it before. But it doesn't really offer anything else. That's kind of just the whole challenge. It's Epic Fetus. I think it's comparable to Demo Man, but I personally don't enjoy Epic Dr. Fetus, so I wouldn't go out of my way to play this challenge, like, ever. I'd look forward to it a little bit when I'm doing a new save file, sure. How would I improve this challenge? Honestly, I was having the most fun whenever Loki's horns activated it, so perhaps force feed the player into having a high luck stat at the start of the run. I should play some of these suggestions that I'm coming up with. Well, I mean, at least the ones I can replicate easily. Doing the glass cannon challenge, except you start with a really high luck stat, so Loki's horns activates all the time. I think that'd be funny. I think that'd be an interesting improvement. I like brain twisting my brain. I like twisting my brain up. Alright. When life gives you lemons, you start with lemon mishap, 9 volt, only goes to the foot. What else is there about the challenge? You have a lemon mishap. No, lemon party pill. What else does this challenge have to offer? Nothing. Worthless challenge. Can you beat the game with no treasure rooms? Yeah. And it also only goes to the foot. Like, literally, who cares? What would I do to improve this challenge? I don't know, man. What's the theme of this challenge? Lemons? Add lemon pitcher as the spacebar item instead of lemon mishap, or stick lemon mishap as a pocket item. Just have both of them. Otherwise, this challenge is kind of like, who cares? Like, sorry to that one guy who was like genuinely excited for when I got to When Life Gives You Lemons challenge. There was one guy in the comments, ooh, looking forward to that. And I was like, in the back of my head, I said, aha, looking forward to it too. But in the back of my head, I was like, why? Why this challenge? This is the one you're excited for, man? All right. Okay, sure. Like, I feel like probably every challenge on this list is somebody's favorite challenge. Except maybe, like, Pitch Black? I don't know. Okay, maybe not every challenge is somebody's favorite challenge, but... Or at least they respect more than I do. Anyway, beans! Another resource management challenge, kind of like Cursed. But I sort of like this one better. It gives you 99 bombs and the bean, and you're blindfolded. Alternative sources of damage that can help you get through it, or get really good at placing bombs and managing using the bean instead of bombs so you don't run out of bombs. I'm always a little too conservative when I play this challenge. I should probably, place more bombs. Only goes to the foot, that's fine. Yeah, I like this challenge. And I would maybe think about playing it outside of save file completion. I'm on the fence with beans. I'll B for beans. B for beans for now. Maybe I'll come back and think about, maybe we'll stick it in C+. Solar System, yeah, I like it. Twist my brain. Suicide King, it's funny. I like Guppy's Ball. I like Epic Fetus, Dr. Fetus. Do I like the Beans Challenge? Bombs. I feel like there ain't no way I'm playing this outside of save file completion. Let's get real. But I feel like it's higher than these. Maybe it's not. Alright, we'll leave it there for now. What would I do to improve this challenge? Every time I play it, I want 9 volt as a starting item. But that kind of defeats the whole point, right? You need to manage your farts and your beans, so get over it. Or wait. Do you? Wait, don't you start with 9 volt? Yeah, you do start with 9 volt. Oh, wait, no, it's the recharging bean item in the first place. I want to have the recharge time. Oh, right, that's what my note means. Okay. Alright, 14, it's in the cards. You start with deck of cards. And, you know, that's it. That's the challenge. Who cares? Like, who cares? Like, who cares? Maybe if you're a first-time player, it teaches you like what a whole bunch of the cards do if you don't know what they do. So that's kind of good for a newbie, I guess. But like, I would rather just play the main game. Like any challenge on here that I would definitely rather play the main game. Like, well, okay, I think actually all these challenges so far, I'd rather just play the regular game. But I mean, you know what I mean? Like this offers nothing in terms of why wouldn't I just play the regular game. These sort of challenges, they really make you wonder why am I just not playing the regular game. Save file completion, that's it. Suggestion, maybe like in the cantrip challenge later, the boss pool item could also give you the ability to hold more cards, and maybe replace item pedestals with cards, like slap in those treasure rooms, but instead of having a treasure room item, make it a card. Something like that. Just go crazy with the card gimmick. Make the player really have to rely on cards more. Alright. Slow roll. Slow roll challenge. This is definitely... I was on the fence about putting this in Nothing Burger or True Mid, but it's kind of fun. I like it. You're pretty powerful with Polyphemus and 100 damage. But it does make you slow down and have to like think a little bit. You have to actually prepare where you're going, but I like it. I like it enough. I'd put it in the true mid category. It doesn't really get more interesting the longer you play the challenge. There's very little room for your run to change for the better or worse, like aside from HP, because you can't change your damage stats, your fire rate doesn't change. Like if you find other like alternative damage sources, you could use those, right? But like, why would you when you have a really powerful tier? Like, Anyway, what's my suggestion? I don't get the point of capping the damage. Don't do that. Why cap the damage? The fire rate, sure, but why cap the damage? Well, also, maybe it isn't capped. That's true. In the background, it might be like rock bottom. It keeps track of your real stat. Actually, I know it does, because blue flies and blue spiders are calculated based off of your real damage stat. And they get better when you pick up stat upgrades. Like, you pick up Guppy's head on the first floor, right? And you're like, ooh, these are going to do 150 damage each. That's great. And then it's like, they don't one-shot enemies, and you go, oh. I think that's how it worked in Afterbirth Plus, but in Repentance, they nerfed how that works, that interacts. So you have to pick up real damage upgrades for blue spiders and flies. I don't know. So in the background, it's still keeping track of your real damage stat. So maybe if you exceed 100 damage, maybe you actually can improve your damage in this challenge, but I wouldn't know. I've never done it. All right. Moving on. Computer savvy. You start with Tech 2, Homing, and Tech. Difficulty part of this challenge, where's the challenge? It doesn't exist. There's no challenge. This challenge, you can beat it in about 5 minutes without even trying to speedrun. Like, I think when I played through on the channel, I beat it in 7 minutes, and I wasn't even trying to speedrun. If you were trying to beat it, like, as a speedrun, you could probably beat this challenge in, like, 3 minutes. I don't know. And it just goes to the foot. So, like, even if you manage to find another cool synergy, like, who cares? Because it only goes to the foot. But then again, maybe it's a good thing it only goes to the foot, because it's kind of boring. So who cares? I mean, sure, the first time you play the game, maybe it's kind of fun. And it is cool the way the lasers look when they home in on enemies. But, you know, I have played this challenge at least 4 times. I have no desire to ever play it again. Alright. Waka Waka. Oh, what's the suggestion for improving the challenge? I don't have one. I don't care enough to figure it out. Alright, Waka Waka. So the Pac-Man challenge here it's kind of fun. I do like this challenge. With the anti-grav tiers and the strange attractors, there can be some wacky, interesting things that happen. There's some funny synergy moments. It's not really something I'd return to, though. Like, I'll look forward to it when I'm doing a save file completion, but then after that, nah. Wouldn't really go back to it. Also, I feel like this one would be okay if it went past the foot. I feel like you could have some more fun with this challenge. It's a little too short-lived, in my opinion. But, yeah, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. Maybe Womb wouldn't end up being too hard for this challenge. I don't know. Suggestions? I don't know. It's novel enough. I don't really think it needs to be changed. And I really can't think of a change I would make. But that's besides the point. Alright, the host. You get a few flies and spider items and the tick. And it goes to the foot. Who cares? I don't care about this challenge. Make it more interesting. Give the player parasitoid tears or something. Like, go in on the flies and spiders theme, right? What is a parasitoid? Parasitoid might not be in the theme of being a host. Because you have the mulligan and you have infestation. Do you have infestation 2 as well? I don't remember. I don't have the challenge before me. If you don't have infestation or infestation 2, give that to the player as well. I don't remember off the top of my head. Anyway, who cares challenge. Nothing burger. The Family Man. Blindfolded familiars. That is fun. I like this challenge. I look forward to it. On the other hand, you might as well just play as Lilith. Now, this is a rebirth challenge. As you can see, it's a very base game challenge, so Lilith didn't exist yet. But we're in Repentance now. If you feel like playing the Family Man challenge, just select Lilith on the start screen, and you're going to have a greater time. So, its novelty is gone, because Lilith exists as a character. But, you know, you don't have Incubus. You have to rely on weaker familiars, so it's different enough that it's not a nothing burger, but I wouldn't even say I would look forward to it exactly playing on just for save file completion. You can be in the mid tier. The Dad's Key makes it kind of interesting. You can use some strategy to decide to skip some harder rooms. It goes all the way to Isaac, which that's kind of nice, right? That's a little bit more challenging, but not interesting enough to be in C+. Alright, Purist Challenge. This might be the challenge I hate the second most in this game. Not because it's hard, not because it's bad, but it's so who cares? Like, I almost want to put it here, but it's not fun. because Isaac is fun. So what's the purest challenge? Besides just the biggest waste? The twist of the purest challenge is that there is no twist. That's the twist. There's no item rooms. You don't have anything special. There's no gimmick. Nothing. Can you beat the game without treasure rooms? Yep, you probably can. There you go. That's the purest challenge. What do I do to improve this challenge? You can't do anything, because the whole gimmick of the challenge is that there is no gimmick. So why would you just not play the regular game? Why wouldn't you just go over to the character select screen and just pick like an actual character and play the game? This challenge is, I hate it. It's stupid. Why does this exist? I don't get it. The twist is there's no twist? That's just stupid. Alright. Well, anyway, moving on. Alright. XXXXXXXXL. Did I say the correct number of X's? I don't know. Don't care. The gimmick here is that it is super big floors. You still have shops and item rooms, so that's nice. You just gotta deal with these super massive floors. It's novel, and I do kind of look forward to playing it for save file completion. And I would put it here, but I kind of slogged through it. And this... I'm a kind of video games I enjoy. Replayability is high on my list for if I think it's a worthwhile, fun experience or not. It was kind of a bit too much of a slog to play through. Like, the whole idea is that they're giant floors, right? Like, that's the idea. But I don't think I would look forward to it as much. It wasn't a nothing burger, and it wasn't unfun, but I don't think... I kind of look forward to that for save file completion. I kind of do, but it's kind of a slog. And again, how do I change this challenge to be more fun? I'm not sure. I feel like the idea itself is the problem. It turns out playing through super massive floors is kind of tedious. Like, you're never gonna die with enough stuff that you're gonna get from the big floor. You're not gonna die, but. I don't know. Once is enough. Okay, speed. Speed challenge. So it's just the game to Isaac's heart, except you've got a permanent fast broken stopwatch effect. And if you take more than 16 minutes, you start taking damage every 10 seconds and you die. I think this challenge is a lot of fun. Something about going, gotta go fast, move out of the way, and looking at the map and going, oh, I can't take the time to go back for that shop or item room. I gotta go. Oop, made a big mistake. Don't care. Gotta move. Gotta haul ass. Sorry, gotta go. I like that feeling. I'm kind of a mosier when it comes to Isaac. You know, I'm not the most patient player, but I'm certainly, I certainly don't care if I miss boss rush or not. Most of the time, like, it took more than 20 minutes to get the mom. I don't care. If I see an opportunity to pull at a string, I'm gonna pull at that string to try to get something to happen. I'm not gonna not take my time. So a challenge that forces me to move, it's fun to me. All right, Blue Bomber. You can just kamikaze blow your way up through every room if you want. But it's still kind of fun to do that. Like, even when you get, like, Mercurus, and you can just walk through all the rooms and dodge, sometimes it's still safer to eliminate before you move on, right? So you're still clearing some rooms in Blue Bomber or when you have Mercurus, but yeah, I look forward to this challenge, just blasting my way through. I like it. Hit the spacebar to win. You're also, since you're Blue Baby, it's not like you're immortal. If you screw up too much, you know, you can't recover that HP with Pyro Maniac. So, oh, excuse me. I like it, and I also just like it the way it is. Right. Novel once. That's the category. Probably not fun enough to play outside of save file completion, but fun enough I look forward to it. Alright. Pay to play. Again, another like sort of resource management. You start with money, and you need money to get through all the new rooms. And I like the idea of you have to pay to get into the rooms, and if you mismanage your money, you just die. Isaac dies of low bank account, right? In this challenge. And unlike the curse challenge, it doesn't force you to if you do want to backtrack, it doesn't force you to take damage. Maybe it should force you to spend more money to backtrack. I'm not sure, but I like it enough. I think I'd put it up here. There's a non-zero chance it might be. I have a hankering to play this today. Put it in B tier. Every idea that I have to improve this challenge, by the way, for my suggestion of making this challenge better, I realize I just want to play Tainted Keeper. I'm like, oh, have the enemies drop coins, and then like have the items cost money. And like, wait a minute, that's just Tainted Keeper. Every idea I have to make this challenge more interesting, it's just Tainted Keeper. Okay, so I have no suggestions for this challenge because it's just Tainted Keeper again. All right, have a heart. You start with full HP and Charm of the Vampire, but you start with is it half a heart or one full red heart? I don't remember, but 20 heart containers. You have no room for soul hearts, bone hearts. And the idea is to make you heal with Charm of the Vampire. A lot of the stuff that lets you heal normally doesn't work. Like most HP ups that give you health don't. Like hearts instead of drops. And like even the secret rooms that have hearts in it don't work. However, and 2 of diamonds doesn't work, but like the sun works, full hearts works, and it's not that difficult to lose heart containers. And the challenge definitely like completely becomes trivial as soon as you find the one thing. Like as soon as you find one thing, this challenge is over. It's not a nothing burger because it does make you think a little, but once you find the one little thing to get the challenge going, it's like over. Who cares anymore? So my suggestion is removing a big one. One of those ways to trivialize the challenge. Have any removed heart container be replaced by a broken heart instead. So you still can't pick up soul hearts or bone hearts. Because every time you lose a heart container, you get a broken heart instead. And make it so that if you gain a new heart container, you lose those broken hearts, right? Except real broken hearts, like by magic skin or reverse the levers or something like that. But force the player to really, like, you can't just cheese this and get soul hearts and stuff. But I don't know what to do about full health pills in the sun. Maybe also work. Because, like, the second you find a way to get full HP, it's over. It's not a challenge anymore. Alright. I rule. You start with Mom's Knife, so like how hard could it be? It's not gonna be hard. But it does go to Mega Satan. So, and the other Zelda items, they are fun for theming. I'm not like super enthralled. I don't know. I feel like the Mega Satan boss fight is what makes it novel once to me. And I enjoy Mom's Knife more than the average player. I feel like a lot of people would probably stick it in these 2 tiers, but I still kind of like Mom's Knife, even after all this time. And the Mega Satan fight is fun. So, you know, for save file completion, I probably look forward to it more than these challenges. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Alright. Yeah. Okay. Brains. You're blindfolded and you got 3 copies of Bob's brain. And it makes you go all the way to Blue, baby, with 3 copies of Bob's brain. And you know me, I'm I enjoy alternative damage sources and being blindfolded. I think that's fun experience, not relying on tears. And I like Bob's Brain more than the average Isaac player, I think. Yeah, it's hard to use, but this challenge, it'll teach you. One suggestion though, I feel like go more crazy on the brains. Maybe one idea I had, perhaps you start with Monster Manual, but it only gives you Bob's Brain. And maybe instead of there's no treasure rooms, but maybe you can have a treasure room that has Soul of Lilith in there, and you can pick up another Bob's. But you want the Bob's Brains to be temporary. Yeah, I'd say that. Maybe give the player a monster manual that only gives you Bob's Brains for more Bob's Brain action. That's my suggestion. Just go crazier on the Bob's Brains. All right, Pride Day. So you got Rainbow Baby and an undroppable Rainbow Worm trinket and $3 bill. I mean, it's not a hard challenge in the least. And honestly, the most interesting thing about this challenge is that you have Rainbow Worm and you can't drop the trinket. It's like Tick. I wonder if it's the exact same properties of the Tick. Like if you found Matchstick, would it take off the Rainbow Worm? But I haven't had that happen, nor do I know anything about that, so I can't say one way or the other. It's kind of just like it is kind of a who cares challenge. And it's also interesting to me that they picked $3 bill, and this is an afterbirth. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I almost never mind. My brain caught up. I don't remember if fruit is a gay slur or not anymore. All I can think of is they say that in Clue, the movie. Maybe it's still offensive. Actually, you know what? It's totally fine that they use $3 bill instead of fruitcake. That's actually fine. But what they could do instead is add Play-Doh cookie. Add Play-Doh cookie to the player. It's already an easy challenge. Who cares? Add more rainbows in there. Give them Play-Doh cookie. Obviously, that's a repentance item, so that didn't exist yet, but I'm saying we can improve all these challenges with, repentance mechanics, if you can think of them. So just give the player Rainbow Cookie too, why not? It's an easy challenge. Make it more gay. Alright, Onan Streak. Definitely makes you think. The gimmick of this challenge is that you can't miss your... makes you think. Things can go off. There's a lot of anti-synergies in this game that you have to be aware of. Like, don't get bookworm. Don't pick up items that might accidentally kill your target in any way, shape, or form before your tier gets them, or you will take damage. Things can go off the rails easily in Onan's Streak, so it really makes you think. Not even just moment-to-moment aim, but also being very wary of what items you select. Overall, I think it's an interesting challenge. And there's probably nothing that I would add. I wouldn't say it's so fun that I put it in A. It's kind of in B. Everything is just ending up in this range. Well, kind of expected that. Alright. The Guardian. You got Mom's Heart. You got Isaac's Heart. You got the Spear of Destiny, Trinity Shield, and Flight. And the heart is following around Mulligan, Popcorn Buddy. Punching Bag, Scapegoat. There we go. I figured it out in the end. So your heart's just wandering around the room, which seems scary at first, but then you're totally free just to slam into everybody. This is another one's like, did something about the game change that this challenge is a lot easier, or am I just way better at the game from the last time I played this? Because this challenge was really easy. Beat it in 15 minutes without even like trying to go fast. Nope, not that far up. But it's kind of fun. Yeah, just keep an eye on the punching bag and make sure you kill everything that's close to it. The mom's foot fight can be a bit of a crapshoot, but I mean, some of the things in this end up just being a crapshoot. Like, there's nothing you can do to stop the damage, but most of it, you can just kill everything before they get a chance of hurting at the heart, so. Alright. We're out of Afterbirth and on to Afterbirth Plus. Back asswards. So this one starts you in the Mega Satan fight with 10 random items, and then you go backwards. When I was first playing, I thought the novelty of this would be lost because of the Ascent path, but no, it's not. Especially because you start in the Mega Satan fight. I love the Mega Satan fight. I think it's one of the most fun fights in the game. And what's great about this challenge is you can set your own pace. If you want a challenging Mega Satan fight, you can stick with whatever the game goes you. If you want an easy Satan fight, you just hold R until you get something good. Or if you want an extremely challenging fight, you can, roll for crap. Like whatever your mood is, you can roll with it. And then going backwards through the game in the non-ascent road, it's fun. And the trophy being in the starting room, it's cute. I love this challenge. I think it's a barrel of fun. Yeah. And, losing an item in a heart container every floor, there is an aspect of resource management to it. Your run's going to change. You're like, okay, this item I've had forever, I'm going to lose it next floor. I need a plan for the future. I mean, it's not terribly challenging after you get out of Sheol, right? The worst is behind you, but it's still something to keep with it. Yeah. Okay. April's Fool. This challenge is a really screwy challenge. You basically have permanent Curse of the Blind because all the sprites are jumbled for your items. You have like a pseudo Curse of the Lost. Like the map works, but it tells you you're in the wrong place. The pickups are random. The cards, pills, runes, active items are random. So don't use those. I think actually I did look at the wiki, and I think it did say that you can't get Plan C anymore, but I think you still can get Suicide King, the card. So cards, not safe. Active items, I mean, varying degrees of safe. Like, you can't get Plan C anymore. The worst is gone. And the random active item overall, I think, is powerful. Anyway. Of course, the other interesting thing about this is Champion Bloat. You get really good at fighting Bloat in this challenge. Overall, I think I look forward to playing it. It's a fun time, but not so fun that I would ever consider playing it outside of save file completion. Yeah, I'd go with C+. Alright. Pokemon's challenge. I was originally pretty harsh on this challenge when I was playing it. I thought, they changed the way the ball works. They've probably totally ruined this challenge. But even though the spirit of gotta catch 'em all was gone, the buffed ball is in and itself way more fun than the Afterbirth Plus ball. Pulling up with the squad, and with whenever a guy dies, the ball recharges, so you can just make a new guy and you just assemble this army of dudes. It's kind of fun. I think it's kind of fun. Even if it's slightly less thematically appropriate to the challenge than it was in Afterbirth Plus, I think it's more fun. And in fact, I had a good enough time that I think I would lop it up there in B tier over everything in the C+ tier. There's a non-zero chance, I think, that I'd play this outside of save file completion. Not a high chance, but, more than everything in C+. My only other idea was maybe adding... Oh, sorry, my suggestion for improving the challenge, though. Maybe adding Friend Finder as like maybe a one-time use Friend Finder every floor to get one powerful friend. Maybe put the treasure rooms back in and it's a one-time use Friend Finder. Or you get a friend when you start the floor as if you had used Friend Finder, something like that. You know, you found a rare, you found a legendary Pokemon or something like that. I don't know. Just adding to the squad is the fun part of the challenge, so why don't we amp that up a little bit? Okay, here we go. Ultra hard. Applies every curse permanently except Curse of the Unknown, but sometimes you can get Curse of the Unknown too, just for fun. Every champion that can be a champion is a champion. Tries its best to generate double trouble bosses when it can. And, no HP drops. What do I think of this challenge? Toss it in the Femur Breaker. Chuck it in the Femur Breaker. I hate this challenge. Honestly, I hate this challenge so much. Whenever I'm seriously considering, should I delete one of my save files and then go for save file 4? There's a part of my brain that goes, oh, you don't want to do that. Because now you're going to have to play Tainted Lazarus again. Now you're going to have to do Tainted Lost Greedier mode. And you really don't want to do those two things. But you know what you also don't want to do? You also don't want to play Ultra Hard ever again. Never. Never. So, like, it's actually a genuine consideration when I'm thinking about some of the most fun I've ever had in Isaac is doing, like, a save file completion. Oh, I love completing a save file. It's fun. Maybe I should delete save file 3 and do save file 4. Then another part is like, you know what also the worst part of Isaac you've ever had? You'd have to do those again. Tainted Lazarus, Tainted Lost Greedier mode, and Ultra Hard. Oh, I hate this challenge. It sucks. Throw it in the Femur Breaker. Dog water. Garbage. Alright, what's my suggestion to improve Ultra Hard? I'd say remove it from the game and instead add Car the Automobile. Does that make any kind of sense whatsoever? No. However, I feel like most people would have Car the Automobile is a great time. It would make for a goofy challenge in the actual game. So why not? Add Car to the game instead of Ultra Hard. Everyone would have more fun. Or not. What is the thing that you... Why is it 34 instead of 35? I never got that. It's not like they're in alphabetical order or anything like that either. So why was Ultra Hard 34 and Pong 35? I never understood that. For the entirety of Afterbirth Plus? Why is Pong the last challenge and not Ultra Hard? Whatever. Who cares? Okay. Pong. Speaking of which, I came into it with the thought of this is just slow roll again, except it's slower and the tier bounces more. And then when I finished the challenge, I thought this is just slow roll again, except slower and with the tier that bounces. My opinion did not change. I'm tempted to put it in Nothing Burger because I look forward to it a little less than slow roll, but like not that much. Like it belongs in the same tier, but just know I like slow roll more than Pong. I'm not gonna order these within the tiers. You're crazy. Like there's no way I'm comparing like these guys. Except Purist. Purist is the bottom of Nothing Burger. And Pong is lower than Slow Roll. There you go. Those are the only two opinions that are worth knowing about when it comes to in tier placement. Those are the ones that matter. Improving the challenge? I don't know. Don't cap the damage, just like the Slow Roll. But again, I don't actually think it is. Maybe if you get above 100 damage, maybe it's not. Alright, moving on from Pong. Scatman. Scatman is probably the challenge that it's the most difficult to die. Computer Savvy is probably easier in terms of, let's say you stick 100 Isaac players and tell them, do Computer Savvy 10 times and then do Scatman 10 times. I think more people are beating Computer Savvy out of, 10,000 attempts across the board. But that's only because some of them are accidentally going to trade all their HP away in the Scatman challenge in a Devil Deal or something, and then lose HP. I feel like nobody out here is ever losing Scatman. You literally can just walk to the finish line. Enemies can't hurt you because you just instantly heal back because you turn them to poop, then crush the poop and heal. It's impossible to die on this challenge. You just walk to the finish line. It's not nothing. I hate it, actually. I don't like this challenge. It's bad. Running into enemies and just walking to the finish line is novel for the first 2 rooms, and then it's like, why am I still playing this challenge? I think it's stupid. And again, as far as suggestion goes, I'm empty. I don't know how to fix this challenge without ruining the spirit of it. The little dip dudes, they're fun. I like the little dip army, but like, you don't have to rely on the dip army. You have red HP and Turdy Touch and the Oakcraft transformation. You just assemble the dip army to take care of the bosses for you. And, okay, the boss, he's being uncooperative. Put a couple bombs down. Surely you have a couple bombs to handle bosses. And of course you do, so you win. Dumb challenge. Anyway, Bloody Mary. Now, I'm just going to put it here. Just get you prepared, but they cooked in Repentance when it came to their challenges. They cooked. Scatman was the worst, but it's all uphill from here. All the rest of these challenges, they're pretty much all bangers. Bloody Mary is no exception. You start as Bethany and Blood Oath. You don't have Book of Virtues, but you do have Book of Belial. So every floor after the first one, you get knocked down to half a heart, no matter what, unless you find some way to cheese the Blood Oath. Like, I'm pretty sure if you put if you pick up like Book of Shadows, you get the invincibility stops the knife from falling. Or if you find like blank card, sun, or full health pill, placebo, something like that, you can cheese the challenge, of course. But I mean, every challenge on this list is cheesable in some way, shape, or form. But it's a neat challenge. I like it. The whole challenge is clever, and for the first few rooms, it's like playing Tainted Jacob. Like, you're never safe until you're safe, until the challenge is over. I would say it's a fun challenge. I would play this. I'd get a kick out of this more than the stuff down here, I think. Baptism by Fire. I think after Ultra Hard, I think Baptism by Fire is probably the hardest challenge in the game. Again, you're Bethany. You're blindfolded this time, and with Urn of Souls and very limited resources. You have to manage your fire well. Look, I rewatched what I did in the challenge for this series, and I did a terrible job. It's like I forgot how to use Urn of Souls at all. That's okay. That's fine. Despite what you think, do not abandon the Guppy's Paw unless if you have like the candle. Like, that's about it. That's the only item you should be abandoning the paw for, because otherwise you will get stuck with no way of making more fire. Yeah. It's very interesting, and very cool, and I definitely look forward to it, but it's probably not Escape the B tier, because it is a little like it's a little bit frustrating, because sometimes you do just get screwed over by the way the enemies generate, and it's like, okay, I guess I have to munch a heart now. So you got to be very, very particular, but it's a good challenge. I like it. It also teaches many players that actually, by the way, Urn of Souls is an extremely powerful item, and if you pick it up, you probably will win your run, just in an even more boring way than Mom's Knife. So a lot of players skip it. Either they don't realize just how powerful Urn of Souls is. All right, Isaac Awakening. It's like the repeat of the Guardian. In terms of no, where's the other Zelda challenge? Where is it? Where are you? I rule. There we go. It's the return of the Zelda challenge, except this time we have an actual sword instead of a knife, spirit sword, and it goes to Mother, which is the change of pace. And it again teaches you about a powerful angel item, but it's kind of novel. But I actually dislike spirit sword less than the knife, but that's fine. I feel like these two are very similar challenges. Gives you the knife, gives you the sword. Goes to a fun boss fight, Mega Satan. Goes to a fun boss fight, Mother. Although Mother's the more novel of the two, I feel like. But anyway, I think it's a good, fun challenge. And Spirit Sword do go burr. It do go burr. And it gives me an excuse not to pick up Spirit Sword in regular runs. Because it'd be like, I could always play Isaac Awakening if I want to play with this transformative item, which I rarely do. Alright, Scene Double. I, for one, think Jacob and Esau are an overhated pair. I think they are a very strong character for the first few floors, which should be the most difficult floors in the game. But Jacob and Esau, they crush early floors, and then they give you double damage, which turns out to be like quad damage. So even though the enemies are like doubled, that's totally fine. Because you can crush the enemies. Just keep Jacob and Esau together, guys. Come on. What are you guys doing? You guys stink at the game. Just kidding. But not actually. But I am. But I'm not. Okay. It isn't too, in my opinion, it's not that hard of a challenge. That hard of a character. But it's fun. And the glasses are, it's cute and nerdy. And it does teach a player how to tailor your run to be strong. So I wouldn't change this challenge either. I get it in the old C+. I look forward to it on a new save file completion. Can you see why there are 3 different C tiers now? Can you imagine all of these just being in C tier? You'd be like, what a pointless tier list. If there was just one C tier. Alright. Here we go. Pika Run. So instead of items, there are no items. You have trinkets. And you munch the trinkets. And they're delicious and yummy. And it's just happens to be like one of the most fun challenges ever conceived. In fact, this challenge was so fun, I, and probably many other players, made a version of this back in After Earth Plus. It was just with like the rules or whatever. No, I think it was before the rules. It was with the custom challenge launcher and the console. Give yourself, mom's box and trinket smelter and say, okay, no item rooms and marbles. Yep, and just don't pick up any items and just munch up trinkets instead. Like, I think enough. I was probably far from the only one that came up with a trinket-only challenge back in After Earth Plus that it was a no-brainer for them to add an official one in the game. Like, it was a banger idea then, banger idea at launch, Repentance, banger idea now. It's fun. It's definitely a good way to, like, unwind. Like, let's say I'm tired after a day's work. There's, like, a good chance that I would pick this or another challenge. Like, if I'm at work going, oh man, I can't wait to go home and play video games, I might say, oh, specifically in mind, might pick Pika Run to go games too. I have one nitpick with this challenge though. Why does it only go to Isaac? Come on, man. Let's just go all the way to Blue Baby. Why does it stop at Isaac? Let's take on the chest too. Why not? I don't think the chest is that much harder than Isaac. But it's still a great challenge. Still one of the 2 best challenges in the game. Even with that small nitpick. Okay. Hot Potato Challenge. Again, another overly hated challenge. I think people are just bad at the video game. What it is you are tainted forgotten, and instead of being able to use the bone club, it explodes. So you have to do this very rhythmic dance of when to pick up the bone pile, when to lure the enemies into the explosion radius, and when to duck out. When to dodge, all that jazz. I think it's very fun. And I think I might even... Is it fun enough for A? The A tier is so lonely. I'm tempted to put it up in A, but is it really that good? No, I'm looking at back asswords and speed. And even Bloody Mary. No, it's not that good. That was... Putting it in A was entirely because of how full the B tier was, but then I was looking at... It does not fill me with the same joy that speed, back asswords, and even Bloody Mary does, so it's a home here with all this other stuff, but it's a good home to be in. Pretty fun challenge. Makes you think. Cantripped. I think this challenge was better back when you can make whatever items you wanted instead of just the active items, but it's still a fun challenge, I think. And being able to use a whole bunch of active items, bam, 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 like a whole bunch of set pre-casted spells, it's fun. I wanted to hate it because I like the version where you can make anything except active items was better, but it's fun enough. I didn't explain what the challenge is. You're Tainted Cane, but you have Bag of Crafting, except it's not actually Bag of Crafting at all. There's no item rooms, but there are cards that are that are like active items. There's no items, you just get a bunch of instant cast active items to carry around. And every floor gives you a starter deck that lets you hold one more card to use as an active item. It's fun. But I like the one where you got any item in the game instead of just active items better. I've said that like 14 times. We can move on. Red Redemption. You are Tainted Jacob, but instead of Anima Sola, you have Red Key. And the floor itself is an XL floor that's been spread out in the map, and you have to traverse the red rooms to find your way back to the real land. Once you run out of red room charges, you start summoning Dark Esau's. And if you continue, you will summon a lot of Dark Esau's. So you have to weigh exploration against the mounting danger of the number of Dark Esau's you're spawning. Because at the end of the road is Mother, and if you don't have a good run, you're just gonna die to Mother, so you better pay attention. Although this last time, I underestimated the power of like having just like 4 Dark Esau's attacking Mother at the same time, so maybe you don't even need that good of a run. That might be pre-buff Tainted Jacob talking. Because I did think the first time I did play this challenge was pre-buff Tainted was excruciating. Much better in its current iteration. I wouldn't change it for the world. It's a lot of fun. I love exploring red rooms. Where this and the XL challenge differ, right? Big, meandering floors. Using the red key in a, choosing your own destiny, and then having Dark Esau follow you, and it's better. I like it better. These two are similar, but this one does it way better. All right, and last but not least, delete this. All the challenges is you start with TMN Trainer, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Rainer, I guess. No, TM Trainer. And the floors are... They have random music, random tiles. That's the only other difference. Is of the floor tiles and the music is randomized. And the theme of the floor. But otherwise, you just start with TM Trainer. I think this challenge, it's always exciting. It's always different. Always interesting to play with the glitched items. But the best part about it is it means that during a regular run, I can ignore TM Trainer because I have this playground that I could go if I want to get my TM Trainer kicks. I don't have to throw a good run just because, ooh, there's wacky, funny TM Trainer. Let's go pick it up. Nope. Not gonna do it. Go watch, go play the Delete This challenge if you want your TM Trainer kicks. You can ignore glitched items for the regular run. It's great. Yeah, it's really good. So now you can say why I think they cooked with the repentance challenges, like 2S, 2A, 2B, C+. Like everything is C+ and better. And then Scatman. but that's fine. Like, they cooked with repentance challenges. The only difference, back to the Lethus challenge, the only thing I would change about it, it is pretty annoying that sometimes the randomly picked song when you enter a new room starts the track over every time you enter a new room and over and over. And then sometimes there's just no music. If they could fix that, that'd be great. That's actually, honestly, really annoying. The no music one, not as much as a priority because that's a little spooky. Okay, oh, there's no music. Whoa. But the track starting over and over again every time you enter a room, it's annoying. Maybe it's supposed to be glitchy because that's the theme of the challenge. But I feel like it's at the expense of a good experience. So maybe just go with the random song. And that's it. That's my opinion on all these. Let's go back through here a moment. I'll go see if there's I'll pause it real quick, see if there's anything I missed to talk about. Alright, there's one thing. I did ultimately decide pay to play. I'll knock it down to the C+ tier. Yeah, I do look forward to it more than Cursed, for example, another like resource management challenge. But is it as good as these? No. Would I actually play it outside of save file completion? No. Let's be honest here. But I look forward to it for save file completion. It's not a mid challenge. It's not a nothing burger challenge, so it's got that going for it. But these are the ones that there's a non-zero chance of me playing outside of save file completion. Be honest with yourself. Would I? No. No. All right. These ones, yes. These ones, no. Well, all right. I think that's the tier list. I think I've reviewed everything else, and I'm happy with their placements. Thank you guys for watching, and yeah, I'll catch you next time. See ya.